Hey, hello everybody. This is Secondhand Dan coming to you again from the Homosassa, Florida land. It's pretty toasty out here. Right now I'm hiding under the shade. This is a new addition to my backyard here, a pavilion of sorts. I bought the frame for $10 at the auction, and I draped a tarp over it because the top was not included. It's doing rather a decent job at keeping the direct heat off of me, so I'm happy with it. You know, for 10 bucks and a tarp that I already had in my inventory, probably a tarp I paid, no more than $5 or something for somebody's yard sale. Hold on, I gotta take this call. My son's calling me. Okay, well, I just got off the phone with my son. I'm in Florida. He's in Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh right now. He's working on a project and needed me to walk him through a couple of the steps. So he's allowing to interrupt my video again, but that's fine by me. So as I was saying, I guess I was going over my pavilion. It's like about 85 degrees and a little bit humid, and in the direct sun here it can be uncomfortable. So I'm going to be working under my pavilion here. I should have done this a long time ago. This has only been up now for about a week, but I didn't pick up the legs until 2 weeks ago. So all right, well, what I want to do is disassemble a welder that I bought at the auction the other day, and it is under here. I've been looking for my microphone. It's in a black case, and it's one of those things where you see it and you're like, okay, I see it, it's there, I'll snag it when I need it. And you think it's in an obvious place, so when you need it, you just have to maybe think for a moment and go and get it. Well, that didn't work out because I was pretty sure it was laying on the floor of one of my vehicles, and I've been through the vehicles and can't find it. So I've got 3 vehicles here, and it hasn't shown up. With another family member, shall remain nameless, who may or may have not moved it to a better location, but can't recall. So I'm giving up, and I'm just going to go ahead and do a video without it right now. As I was saying, my project for the day is underneath here. I bought this probably at least a month ago. I always like to be a little cautionary when flipping things, that there's nothing gonna jump out and bite me. Because, I do see people posting pictures of venomous snakes that they've found on their property. Anyway, there it is. It's a welder. I think I have about $25 in it. I'm sure if I thought it was absolutely necessary, I could probably just hang on to it and use it as a working unit. But I haven't been able to get the dial to move right now. So, and plus I have a welder that's functioning. Here's the welder that is doing good by me. I think I only paid $25 for this one also, and I've already put it to the test. I welded these hay forks together, and I'm going to turn that into a spider. I'll spread out the prongs, and I'll weld some kind of body stuff on there and a head and yada yada yada. So that's a project in the works. But anyway, the project is to tear down this welder, and to tear it down, I figured it's probably got some couple good amount of copper probably in there. And either way, I don't mind tearing it down for just a general purposes. So let's drag it over under the pavilion. I'm going to use that dolly. It has a set of wheels on it, but they gave loose no sooner I got it off the truck. You can see those weren't the I don't think original mounting and wheels. They probably didn't even have wheels originally. So it's a little bit sketchy as far as the wiring, but it probably looks like something I would have done. They came with some nice leads, so that's a good thing. Let me set you up on a tripod. Alrighty, you're in the tripod, which means now, since I don't have the microphone, I have to talk a lot louder if I start walking away from the camera. And that's not the way I like to do it, but I've looked for that camera or that microphone for like 3 days, so gotta get the dolly under it. Oh, I think this thing weighs well over 100 pounds. I know what an 80-pound bag of concrete feels like. It's on there. Rolling, rolling. See me rolling. All right. Okay, it's hot out here. I'm just getting over some kind of virus. I was coughing for days, spitting up nasty phlegm wads. Maybe you don't want to hear that. Maybe you don't care either way, but I'm about 90% over it. It's hard to see what you're seeing. Let's see if I step back. All right, well, the welder's in frame. One of these days, maybe I can get my son involved and he can be my cameraman and editor. He went to school for communications, so I'd like to see him do some communicating via the internet on my behalf. This is a 250 amp solar welder. I think it actually has a little more amperage than the one I'm using, but that's not enough reason for me to switch horses in midstream. Like I said, I'm figuring I should have a good score on the copper, and plus it's fun to tear into something that you've never torn in before. Well, that didn't make much sense. I walked away looking for tools, and I didn't even know what tool I needed, so I just grabbed 2 screwdrivers. And I see no slotted screws. So let's drop these on the makeshift workbench back there. I do see, what is that, 5/16 octagon steel tappers, self-threaders, whatever you call them, like the kind you would see in ductwork. I'm going to go get my DeWalt's, 20 volt DeWalt's. Okay, I said this thing's 100 pounds and I can't lift it up, or I'd put it on the workbench and we do it from there. So I'm just going to work it on the ground until maybe I pull enough stuff off of it that maybe I can lift it. We shall see. Oh. Lost the last little bit of my C4 here. Probably at least another good mouthful. I've been drinking energy drinks lately, not habitually. So we'll always put the tools on the workbench. I got my driver bits. Let's call them that 5/16. Does that sound right? I can't even read whatever this says on there. It's too much rust, but it fits. If it fits, it ships. Goes in here, but unfortunately it does not lock in. So that means a lot of times you've got to pull it off and it'll come out when you don't want it to. But such is life, little inconveniences. Like right there. It did not remain in the DeWalt. Okay. Maybe I have one that locks in place. I'll have to look. The handle's held on by these. It says, warning, read and understand this label. Protect yourself. Do not permit electrical parts, live parts, or electrodes to contact skin, clothing, or gloves if they are wet. Now, this, unlike a microwave, here till you take a microwave apart, or it's even an old tube TV, you have to worry about getting shocked, at least for a period of time. So either you got to know how to discharge any residual voltage in them, or wait, so it might be a couple of days before the capacitors drain down. There's no potential of getting shocked. I need a container to put my hardware in, just because I don't want it in the grass. Don't want it in the sand, because you never know when you might be driving a vehicle over this way and you could get flat tires. Now, I'm sure some of you would say, Dag, I could use that welder. Well, if you were here, we could probably work a deal out where it would be yours, but chances are that you're, within a 10-mile radius of me and watching this video and would want this thing are just about astronomical. Less than I wouldn't have much of a video of, I couldn't break this down. Ugh. Okay, I guess I gotta take the tires off the axle. Oh wait, now the axle will slide, so I can get to the other 5/16. Is that? I could probably read this if I get in the sun and see what size it actually says. Yeah, there I see the 16ths on there, so it must be 5/16. I can't see the smaller digit. Smaller in denomination, not in size. Oh, it's still in the way. Let me back this up. And I actually need these wheels because I have a chop saw. It's built on a grill stand, and one wheel shattered. So here's some replacements for it. Okay, undo these wire nuts. Somebody did a shaky job here. They ran this electrical cord right through this electrical box without any clamping, which means over time it can rock back and forth until it cuts through, either causing a small little electrical explosion or possibly causing you to get shocked. Hey, I do need that screwdriver after all. There is a screw holding the one wire in down here. Okay. Wire, oh, there's the clamp. It just wasn't mounted. It demounted itself. Okay. There's another screw down here on the bottom. Let's see the other side. It looks like I may have gotten all the sheet metal screws out of it. There is a leg. Ugh. I guess I can leave that leg on there for now. Ugh. Okay. Pop goes the top. Now let's get you in here so you can see what's inside before I start breaking it down. I'm having a hard time seeing the screen here. You're in the sunlight and getting too much glare. Okay, there's a large coil. Lots of wires. Whoop. Gotta tighten this up here so that don't happen again. Hope I'm not making you dizzy. My wife can actually get dizzy watching some videos. Okay. There's a coil down there on the bottom. I still have you in the tripod, that's why it's a bit clunky. There's a coil down there. There's a coil halfway up. I believe that's a fan shroud. Some cables. All right, hang on. All right, I guess we're gonna work from the top on down inside. And there's a sheet metal screw on the outside that's holding this fan shroud on. I don't know if there's any more than that. You would think there would be. Yeah, oh yeah, I see some more. Well, it's good. Well, it's pivoting on something. Would you believe there's a spring attached to it? But I do see another one down here, down low. Okay. It's definitely freed it up quite a bit. This would be the cooling fan. Why it's got a spring pulling it in place, that is weird. I guess maybe that keeps some of the vibrations down. Makes it a shock absorber. What the heck just fell out of there? Oh, I guess that's a piece of shroud trim where it's up against the sheet metal to there again to dampen some of the vibration noises. Okay, and I was in the middle of trying to get that spring off. That spring. Okay, I see where it goes internally. Well, they're both internal, but I can see where the bottom section is. Is it any easier than the top section to reach? No. So, try and disconnect it from the top side. I guess I can just stretch it and then back up. Watch it don't snap at me. Keep my face out of the way. Okay, disconnected spring. Okay. I guess I could just snip those wires, being that this is not a repair, just a salvage operation. These aren't the first tool I would go for when I know I'm going to be snipping wire, but it's the first tool I came to. I'm hot and I'm bothered. You should use a pair of side cutters. Funny thing was, I was watching a video the other day, and a guy was working on this large antique industrial hammer, and I mean, he's a pretty smart guy, but what I didn't get was why he did so much scraping of the grease with the wire brush, you know, it has that small little scraper on the end of it. That's what he was doing so much of his heavy grease scraping with. I'm like, come on, dude, grab your buddy knife. Anyway, he didn't look like the kind of guy I'd like to work with just the same. All right, snipping these. There's the cooling fan. It's probably well built compared to the ones today. I mean, it's a typical design. Can you see them? I've never seen them all my life, like in record players and just about hundreds of items. But still, it depends on what kind of windings and bushings and stuff like that, the quality. And that, I'm sure, is a good one. Okay, we're working our way from the top down. There's a junction block here. Let's get you another looky inside. There's a junction block there. I'm sure there's a lot of copper in there. So, working our way from the top down. Okay, those look like maybe Allen screws inside those terminal blocks holding wires in place. Hopefully I got enough room to work with these Allen wrenches. One size up from the small. Let's see how that, yeah, plenty of room. It's free spinning. Maybe that's too small yet. Take it up a size. Yeah, there we go. Got some bite. Ta-da. I'm generally not a scrapper type person, but when it can be something interesting like this, taking it apart and knowing that I'm making possibly good money, because I said it's copper in here. But sometimes I just take my low-end scrap and throw it on somebody else's scrap pile. Figure you're welcome to it, if it be tin or different gauges of metal. Last thing I threw on somebody's scrap pile was a vintage Honda motorcycle motor. I actually have a video out on that one. I got but so far, and I didn't have the tools to take it any further apart, so I figured I'm done. Let it go. All right, why is this one wire still holding on? Did I not loosen that screw yet? Or did it just... Is it stuck in place? That is weird. Yeah, the screw's coming out of the terminal. Okay, got the screw, okay. Okay, it had some sort of eyelet on it, and I guess it was hooked around the screw. Okay, where do we go from here? Still working our way from the top down. Hey, while you're watching, give me a thumbs up, a like, subscribe, something. Let me know I'm not alone. Because down here in Florida, you know, my neighbors are few and far between, and though I would be the buddies with the one neighbor, he just seems not to care to have me as a buddy. So that's his loss, actually. Now these are some stiff wires here. I could, let me see, take this knob off here. This is the knob that once you select the voltage, you roll the big dial in place. You're supposed to pull the knob up and it'll lock it so it doesn't drift out of place. Some of this metal that comes out of here, maybe I'll be able to use on that spider sculpture. Now this first coil is held in with screws from the front side and the back side. But there are other mechanics holding it in place too, so let me leave some of those. There's two large nuts there. Wish I had a smaller tripod. I mean, we are definitely in the belly of the beast here. There's that terminal where I just pulled out a bunch of wires. And you can see this copper right here. Solid copper. These are solid copper. And they go over to these terminals. So I'm going to get some wrench action on those. I could pull the sheet metal screws out, but may as well get rid of everything else that's holding the coil in place first, because it's going to be interesting as to how to get these pieces of copper out of there. If I just be able to run a sawzall across it and yank them out. I know, it's a mess, but it's my mess. Facing the wrong way, are you? All right, well, I grabbed 2 wrenches out of the toolbox. After eyeing up, I came back with a 22 millimeter and a 13/16. Well, the 22 millimeter is the one that's fitting. Now, I know this isn't in metric. Well, I can't say for sure, I guess, unless I actually micrometer it, but I was thinking it was maybe older than that. Maybe it is actually 22. I thought maybe it was just yeah, it's like a perfect fit. It's got to be a 22. So that means this probably is less than 20 years old. Okay, it's slow going. Yeah. Fake shot. Anyway, this terminal looks to be brass. And sometimes the nut turns, sometimes the terminal's turning. Oh, there goes the face of it. Ding dang, cling clang. Now there's a rusty nut on the front, so why they want to go ahead and use brass in some places and steel in another. That might just be zinc coated. I wish this was a better quality video, but I'm still looking for somebody to school me on how to make a better one. I have not met anybody. It's been over 2 years since I've been actively making YouTube creations, and I haven't met anybody, friend or family, that could say, hey, yeah, I do that too. Let me show you some of the tricks. So I'm still on my own here. I keep debating whether or not to go GoPro or not. I know there's good reasons to go with a GoPro, but there's probably not necessarily as many good reasons as some people may think. One thing, it's at least a $350 investment, because I got to have one that has the screen on the front and the back, so I can see that I'm in frame. This is some stiff copper connection here. Okay, gotcha. Let's put this pile of washers. Yeah, that's a brass nut there, but on the outside, they have a call it iron, steel nut. Now, if I was strictly taking this apart just for the copper to make some money, it probably would not be worth it. But I'm doing it because I can make a video and cash in the copper. I saw somebody else take apart a welder, and I think they got maybe about $75 in scrap out of it. So if that's the case, and I was to get $75 out of scrap, you know, I would have my initial 25 in it. Then I got my labor in it. So you're talking pretty much almost like a break-even scenario by getting $75 for it. And I think I may have found out that some of this is aluminum and some of it is copper. I think these large ones are aluminum. So that's a slap in the face. Well, can't do anything about that. Can't wave a magic wand over them and turn them into copper. But the leads down here definitely appear to be copper through and through. All right, I gotta get this lever out of the way. Like I say, I'm anxious to drop the screws that are holding the coil in place, but that lever, it might make for an ugly hang-up point if I don't get it up there now. I feel like there's a bug crawling on me. The other night, bug crawling on me in bed. Hate that when that happens. Felt it coming up my thigh, and I reached down there quickly and I gotta get it and squeeze. And so I think it might have been what do you call one of those, a small palmetto bug. I've had a stink bug in the past end up in my bed. That was not pleasant. All right, well, there is a rivet holding that shaft in place. So I could, you know, keep working at it. I get a wrench on this, and that'll free up that whole structure. That looks like, I'm going to say 14, 15 millimeter. Bring out the 15 millimeter and see if that's the fit. Because I don't see my 14 right now. I've noticed 14s, all right, that fits sloppily. That's sloppily a word. That's some kind of a lock nut too. I can see the crimps on it. All right, well, I don't want to keep cranking on it with a wrench. Let's just switch to a socket. So, I know I've got the sockets, 14. Yep, it's a 14. The 15 was sloppy. Pull this off. Ready to rock and roll. Stack of washers. Dag. One flat washer, two synthetic, another flat. 4 smaller, and then another larger flat. I was hoping for enough there play. There we go. Out comes the shaft. Oh, Kenneth is calling me. Hold on. All right, well, I just got off the phone with my son, trying to give him directions on how to operate a power hammer drill. I'm using the right sizes for the Tapcon he wants to put in. Doesn't have the right size drill bit right now, so he's going to have to run out to the hardware store, but now he says he's got company, so he won't be doing that. All right, getting back to this project here. I'm going to go ahead and take the foot off of this. Then after the foot's off, I'll be able to sit it squarely on the ground and take the screws out that are holding this midsection coil in place. So let's get you back in the tripod. Put this back in. I guess while I'm here, I see a couple Phillips screws. I may as well go ahead and loosen them up. Or not, they can wait. Because I said we're going to work from the top on down, and that would be not keeping true to my word. So I'll let those ride a little longer. Okay. Standing this mug up. Here, you need to stand back a little bit so you can get a bigger picture. Okay, I'm going to release the coil. Or, at least that's my intention. If I pull out those screws, there's like at least 8 screws holding the coil in place. I'm not sure what else is going to cause it to hang up, but let's go ahead and release the screws. Oh, they're a bigger size now, huh? Yeah, that looks like, what is it? 3/8? Well, it would be a metric. Is this the right size? Nope, too big. I might just have to switch to a regular socket. Nope, found the right size. And this one will lock into this holder. Well, it's supposed to, but the holder is El Cheapo, so it doesn't always work. One, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, feel it give way there. Big self-tappers. Okay, over there. And I think others are underneath this dial. So, yeah, they're underneath the dial here. So, I have to get the dial off. Let's see, there's a cap on the center of the dial. So we can assume that's holding some kind of screw in place. Or nut. Come on, Cappy. Doesn't want to. Not eager to pop. It looks like a small hubcap. You think it would just pop up. I mean, it's definitely rocking back and forth. It might be one of those push type pins that bites. Yeah, it is. It's one of those that slide on the shaft and they don't want to come off backwards. I got the cap off, but the ring is still retaining it. But if I walk back and forth, yeah, they kind of hold the wheels on children's toys. Nice breeze. It's refreshing. I made sure I added some concrete blocks to the pavilion of the legs so it doesn't, the whole thing doesn't take off. But here's that retainer for the dial on the front. And there's two small sheet metal screws. Very small looking. I think there's a generation that's growing up not knowing how to get by without battery operated tools. I mean, when I grew up, I've changed motors and transmissions with nothing but hand tools, ratchets and wrenches. I consider it a luxury to have anything air operated on my own. Of course, I lived with my parents back then. Didn't have a compressor, but it wasn't until I actually worked in a transmission shop that I got to work a lot with air tools. But air tools have basically largely been replaced by the battery tool. Okay, well now we're all exposed here. Well, we meaning the welder here. You see the two screws here, two screws over there are holding the other side of this coil. Now, do I need to, is that attached to the coil? I don't think that's attached to the coil. It looks like it sneaks up behind it. Well, we're going to find out because I'm going to release those other 4 screws. Switching up driver bit again. Okay, as we'll take the 2 screws off that are holding that throw power switch in place. It just will be easier to undo some of the smaller hardware if some of this stuff just pours out of the case. Okay, and the switch is attached to the back panel, not to the coil now. I can bend that open. The coil definitely flopping around here, and not sure what's holding. Oh, is that coming off? Is it? I can bend it, yeah. Come on. Okay. I think I'll go get my vibrating tool with the little saw blade in it, because this coil, the wires run to the top down to the station below. So hold on while I go get that. Say hello to my little friend, Busy Buzz Buzz. Power him up. Flip the blade around. Come on, blade, go back in place. There we go. And proceed to cut. Problem is, when something is not solid, the vibrations transfer into that item and vibrate that item. Then you don't. It's harder to cut. So it's only got a little pullback on it, maybe, huh? About halfway through one. Try from this side. There we go. Solid aluminum. Ain't that great? This is definitely not my finest hour. And I'm doing a hatchet job here. Just about literally. Right, but I can say I'm doing one figuratively, that's for sure. Come on, your buddy popped. Why can't you pop? There you go, come on. Okay, is the coil free now? For what I got into it, it's certainly not free. Come on. Fucking Bronco. Yeah, yeah. It's holding on by the selector. There we go. Come on, selector. Hector the selector. Okay, the selector is off. Okay. See, it's attached. Another wire in the back, but that one I got easy access to. Drink my C4 in here. I couldn't afford C5. Okay. battery back on that guy. What's holding on now? Something. Other end of this lever, if I pull the spring out. A good wax with a hammer, or a couple inferior whacks with a wrench. There we go. So that's how that works. There's a adjustable iron that slides in and out of this coil. Change your voltage. Like scrap metal. See most of the weight of this thing. But come on, coil, you're not still attached, are you? No, I think I just got the corner tucked under a slot. There we go. If I pick it up slowly, I'd probably put it on the workbench here. I don't feel like I've accomplished anything of significance. I've definitely destroyed an old welder, but it had it coming. This thing is heavy. Okay, do not jerk. No jokes. Oh, it still feels like it's 50 pounds. Whew, made me dizzy. Alrighty. Aluminum, it's a blessing and a curse, huh? All right, look at this monstrosity. You know, I am, well, put it mildly, disappointed in the quality of this video. Quality of this welder. I guess I had my hopes up too high to expect that it was going to be copper when I felt the weight of it. The weight of it is just layers of steel. I said there is a certain amount of copper in it. I'm not even sure it's worth the effort of digging any deeper to get the copper out of it. My back is aching. I'm filthy. It's hot and sweaty. All right, well, if you enjoyed today's video, give a like and a subscribe. This is Secondhand Dan saying thank you for any and all patience. I appreciate it. God bless and goodbye. Why, gosh darn, Marjorie, looky there. Isn't that one of them there rectum fires?